right, take 3. Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to My Expanding Universe, a show where I just continually talk about the same stories over and over again, expecting to get a different result. This is about the fourth time I think I made this video. The first time I lost it, could not find it. The second time the mic screwed up. And who knows what wonderful things will happen for the third time I make this stupid video. But anyway, this is a video to kind of go back and go over some stories that I missed, not on purpose, but we will talk about that in a minute. First off, a few weeks ago, or months ago, I don't know, time has no meaning for a man who travels all the time. Someone had posted that I missed a few Old Republic stories from Star Wars Tales, so I wanted to talk about those very briefly. The first one was from Star Wars Tales 23. It's called Shadows and Light by Joshua Ortega. And basically this is a prequel to the Knights of the Old Republic series. It's really nothing more than that. And I didn't play the game, so I probably didn't know what was going on in the story anyway, but it introduces and sets up the storyline for the video game. The next one is from Star Wars Tales 24. It is called Unseen and Unheard. It's written by Chris Avalon, and it's talking about the devastation of Qatar from a Sith Lord. Now this happens an incredible, inconceivable 40,000 years back before the Old Republic there. So it's basically one of the oldest stories out there, and it's really not that good. It's your average Star Wars tale. Not really impressed by it. Speaking of Star Wars tales, I looked at why did I skip these short stories. And years ago, before I even started this series, I actually went through all the tales to kind of put the short stories in chronological order as best I knew how. And I had some stories that were canon and some that were non-canon. Now, usually it's very easy to figure out which one's non-canon, right? The really silly, stupid ones are obviously non-canon. Some other ones I had to do a little bit more homework in to figure out what was, you know, canon and non-canon. And others were like sitting on the fence there. I was like, I guess this is canon. I can make it non-canon. Or this could be canon. I don't know. Like I said a few weeks ago, I made a review about Troopers, and I said, I don't know why it's non-canon. Someone left a response to tell me why. But at the same time, looking at it, it looked like it was a canon story. So I had in the canon list under question mark. But for non-canon, I had these 2 short stories in there. Now, I have no idea why. It may have been years ago that I just put them in the wrong category, or maybe when reading them said, no, that seems a little far-fetched. But for whatever reason, they were listed in my non-canon stories. Now, looking back over them, they have no reason to be considered non-canon. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I just marked them in the wrong category, like I said. But I noticed another short story, and I just glanced at it now before I turned on this video, called Mart by Rob Williams. And it basically talks about a young Darth Maul. Now, I just glanced at it, and I don't recall ever talking about this. It would happen, I believe, 6 months before The Phantom Menace. And it seems to be canon. Of course, there may be something silly in there, like him wanting waffles and pancakes or something. I don't know, but it seems to be canon. And if it is, then that would be one of the few times we would see a young Darth Maul story. Now, again, it's very short, and the only time we read about a young Darth Maul would be in the, I think it's either the Darth Maul Journal or The Life and Times of Darth Maul. It talks briefly about him as a youth, and then it borrows stories from all the other Darth Maul stories that were already in print. It's actually really nice. It's same of The Life and Times of Obi-Wan Kenobi, where he takes a bunch of stories that were already established in the expanded universe and kind of gives you a timeline with Obi-Wan. And I actually picked them up thinking, oh wow, this is new expanded universe material. And of course, while I was reading through, I was like, wait a minute, this is a story from the Little Golden Books. This is a story from the comic book. This is a story from the short story here. Aha, I got it. I knew what they were. And then I put them safely back on the shelf. Now, if you wanted to get those are fine, and they're fine reads, but it's basically rehashing a bunch of other stories that have already been spoken about. Okay, so now I've made an executive decision to cut this video into 2 parts because that way I can't possibly screw it up. So I'll see you next time. with another video.